Hello and welcome back, guys. Today we'll be diving into the sci-fi action franchise titled Man in Black 2. Without further ado, make sure to sit back and relax, because I promise you this is going to be an epic one. 5 years later, a spaceship, obliterating world after world after world, finally arrives at Earth in July 2002. After landing and showing us its grandiosity, it flips itself over, and out comes a tiny replica of the ship, which a dog approaches. Serena, a shape-shifting 𝐏𝐿𝐿, an alien, scares the animal away. It goes to a nearby book and finds a human it would like to copy. It then disgustingly begins its transformation and decides that, to be an alien arriving on Earth, you must follow in the footsteps of Terminator and pretty much arrive naked. Elsewhere, J is with Agent T when they interrogate a plant for being outside its travel zone. T triggers it a little too much, and so a massive worm, hundreds of meters high, tosses T away and also decides to smack J as well. J gets back up and intentionally rides the worm to stick a needle into it. As he goes to put the second one in, the worm rides past a group of people who seem quite unfazed. After being thrown into the train in front of him, J needs a plan as the worm rips half the carriage apart. Directing the people to go ahead, the worm opens its mouth and fits about 6 carriages in there before pulling out. J then approaches the worm and calls him Jeff before aiming his gun, finally making the worm surrender. After wiping out the memory of the passengers, he orders a cleanup crew and revokes Jeff's movement privileges, wanting him escorted back to Chambers Street Station. Deciding to take a well-deserved break, T joins his partner, who gets quite emotional being all alone in this universe. In another part of town, we are introduced to Scrad and Charlie. Selena pays them a visit and demands the location of the light. Charlie asks for $50 million for it, but Selena has other methods in mind. Getting some pizza, the two agents have a heart-to-heart, which leads T to start crying. Realizing the last 5 months haven't really worked out with him, J decides to erase T's memory before telling him to get married and have some kids. Elsewhere, in a pizza shop, Laura has given the Employee of the Month status from her boss, Ben, who tells her to get back to work. When returning, she sees Serena threatening her boss, to which they hear a noise. After inspecting and not finding anyone there, Serena tells Ben she knows he is a Zarthan and wants the light of Zartha. Ben then uses a scary-ass voice to tell his intruder that the light will be gone tomorrow, and she can do nothing about it. After slicing him in half, they leave the store, leaving Laura in shock. At MIB headquarters, Jay returns and starts barking orders to his troops. Clearly known for erasing people's minds at will, the agents tread carefully around him. Soon enough, Zed enlightens Jay to the details of the killing at the pizza shop. Jay then informed Zed that he was sacked and that Laurel wanted to get back to her job. At the Morgan, Frank funnily enough decides to be Jay's partner for the time being. Once the duo arrive, they discover phosphorus on the floor and mention there was a witness. Jay quickly speaks to Laura himself and offers to buy her some food at a diner. Laura cannot comprehend the scene she just saw. Jay tells her everything, from the MIB to aliens on Earth, and she takes it quite well. However, Jay must do what he must and goes to erase her memory, only for Laura to mention he looks quite lonely. This hits him hard enough to leave her memory for the time being. Both he and Frank then head towards the spaceship landing site from earlier. Zed calls in and mentions that the light of Zartha is not on Earth and that 25 years ago, the Zarthans came to Earth to hide the light from Serena. The agent that carried out that order was none other than K. The following day, Jay immediately heads to a massive post office and gets out of the car. Once there, he gets quite emotional upon seeing his former partner and tells him he was part of the Men in Black and was a former agent. Kevin, as people have been calling him, shrugs off the conversation until Jay says he was never in a coma. Funnily enough, though, Jay gets the opportunity to showcase some evidence as an alien is also undercover at the post office. After some weird communication, everyone at the office reveals themselves to be aliens, and K trips out. Jay then decides to say that his wife left him because he knows more about the stars than Earth, and that results in a slap. However, K does still agree to go for a ride with Jay, as he had once done the same thing many years ago. At headquarters, the now reunited duo come out of the elevators, only for everyone to recognize Agent K. He is a decorated hero from the past and the most feared human on the planet. Simultaneously, Michael Jackson completes a mission for Zed and asks for a position in the agency but is turned down. As aliens cannot be agents, K then reunites with Zed, who gets him prepped for the neuralizer. After Jay gets his revenge for only handing him a small gun, as he did many years ago, he gets him in a suit and introduces the neuralizer. Back in the lobby, Selena decides to attack and takes out an agent before releasing her slimy tentacles all around the place. A lockdown ensues, and after taking inspiration from a toilet, headquarters decide to flush both J and K out of the agency and onto the street. Serena, in the meantime, finishes locking up all remaining agents for Frank to not yet be caught. The duo then use surveillance cameras and see absolute silence at the base. They then look up an old acquaintance who might have a neuralizer he stole some years ago. Eventually, the duo arrive at 𝐏𝐵's and ask for the neuralizer. Adamant he doesn't have such a device at first, a weapon to his head quickly changes his mind. Back at headquarters, all alien prisoners have been released and are told the first person to find K and J gets to keep Earth. Serena then personally calls a creepy-ass man by his name, Jara, back with 𝐏𝐵. He gets everything ready and turns on the neuralizer. After his B-grade machine starts moving and working, the entire city's power turns off on them. Once it comes back, the machine shakes and spins before flinging K away. The two go and check up on him, only for 𝐏𝐵 to lose his head. K seems quite upset and disappointed before walking away on his own. Out of nowhere, two prisoners released from earlier fire their way into the basement. Problematically, J is quickly surrounded by more goons and disarmed. Once they revert to torture him for information, K is outside and sees the same bikers and people he has seen before, and all his memories start coming back to him. Realizing that his partner is in trouble, K returns downstairs and shoots the prisoners before poking their eyes, flinging them away, and kicking the last one in the face. With his memory back, the duo head upstairs where J is forced to give up the keys to the car. Zed, in the meantime, refuses to talk until Selena mentions that the light of 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐿 will self-destruct by midnight and completely destroy Earth. Zed then calls Michael Jackson and decides to attack Selena. While he is distracted, he does not stand a chance, and Serena notices Frank still inside headquarters. They, on the other hand, head down to pay Laura a visit. However, there seems to be quite a bit of tension between the two agents as K reveals a clue about the light of 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐿 and the store owner. After grabbing the keys, as the clue, a photo is pointing to, J refuses to let K erase Laura's mind, at least for the time being. Instead, Laura is sent to hang out with some trusted aliens until the entire situation is rectified. In the hallway outside, K says he erased his own memory about the light of 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐿 and does not remember it but has left himself some clues. After unlocking his own locker, the duo discovers hundreds of small aliens inside it. K takes his watch back, and the elder of the village reminds him of a card he once gave them. After taking the card and closing the locker, the two agents go to the shop detailed on the card called Taper. Inside the video rental shop, K inserts the card to reveal he placed a reservation on a video named The Light of 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐿. At headquarters, Jara and Selena make a deal that in return for J, Jara will build Serena a ship that travels 300 times the speed of light. At a tapeworm manager's house a while later, the man plays a DVD to inform us of a war between the 𝐻𝐻𝐿s and the 𝐾𝐮s for over 50 years. However, a secret weapon that could tilt the war to one side was discovered. K then quickly gets back his memory of the situation where he was forced to refuse taking the light as Earth planned to remain neutral. However, the princess was killed, and the light was handed to K. As per procedure, the civilian memories are erased, and J gives Laura a call to discover that she has the light on her wrist. J then informs Frank to deactivate the lockdown as he found the light. Not realizing that Serena is the one on the other line, sometime later, the duo arrive to find the place trashed and Laura missing. As the duo have to save the world once again, they will need some weapons. They decide to make their way to K's old house to reveal a secret room full of guns. The duo load themselves with anything that'll pack a punch and even load the aliens to help them as well. After using the neuralizer once again, Jara informs Selena that her ship is ready, and she wants to send it to K immediately. J and K simultaneously arrive with the help of the 4 aliens, and J decides to pop a hole into headquarters, which backfires and sucks them in. After getting up and going to the elevator, a friendly sentry turret turns evil and shoots hundreds of rounds at the elevator, leading Serena to think the duo are dead. However, the duo are alive, and K tells J to not come back for him no matter what. As the 4 bugs stay on the roof scared for their lives, J manages to run into the base while K instructs the bugs to deactivate the power so the ship is not able to take off. As the sentry turret approaches, K drops a bomb and escapes only to find Selena there taking a hold of him. At the ship, J sees that Jara has escaped and, wanting his revenge, he reveals another 3 weird-ass looking clones that attack J. Knowing that time is short and something must happen soon, Laura tells J to run away, but he stands his ground and starts playing some baseball. After riding one of Jara's clones, a mad punch takes out one more of them, and the final 2 are tricked into colliding with each other with 10 seconds till launch. J calmly deactivates liftoff. Meanwhile, K cannot stand Selena and tells her, "I'll give you one last chance to surrender, you slimy Kylothian invertebrate." Jayan appears from behind and immediately disintegrates Selena while the bugs deactivate the power. Everyone quickly gets into the car, and Serena begins shapeshifting again. K then tells the other 2 that the bracelet is not the light but a departure point. When suddenly Selena attacks again, K realizes their situation and presses a button, which transforms the car and makes it take off flying after going through a detour around the Statue of Liberty. J tells K to get out of his seat, The two switch places with each other as Selena approaches them until Jay does some mad moves heading into the subway station. Both ships fly at outstanding speeds until Jay suddenly stops his ship long enough for Selena to go right into Jeff's mouth and be eaten. The team then arrives at the departure point only for Kay to say that Lara is the light of 𝐶𝐻𝐻𝐿. Confused, she argues and mentions that it is impossible until a beam of light comes directly from space and stops to reveal a ship that Lara is to leave in. Jay is quite disappointed, and him being alone seems to be something he must continue getting used to. After both agents get emotional, Jeff comes to the top of the tower and Selena rips him apart from the inside out. Jay saves Lara's life as Selena attempts to toss him around, urging Lara to get onto the ship. Kay says she was just as beautiful as her mother, and with that, Lara starts flying away. Kay kills Selena again, but again she emerges and shoots towards Lara only for the duo to shoot their big guns and cause an absolutely awesome display of fireworks, finally killing Serena once and for all with a mission well done. The Statue of Liberty erases all the minds of New York City, and back at headquarters, the original trio reunite. Kay then heads to an exit door and kicks it down to reveal that Earth is inside a locker as the little aliens were beforehand. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.